guys, what's up? It's Allie back with another YouTube video from My Plants Grow on Instagram. Today we're going to be talking about the Schlumbergera truncata. I know I butchered the first name, but basically it's a Thanksgiving cactus. So I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys have this plant, or you have a Christmas cactus. And you might not even know that you have a Thanksgiving cactus versus a Christmas cactus. So what the difference is on the stem, which some people actually think it's like a leaf or something. I'm not for sure. Basically, but it is a stem, and so how you can tell on a Thanksgiving cactus is they're pointed, and on a Christmas cactus they're a little bit more round. And the same thing for an Easter cactus. They're a little bit they're round too. So the Christmas cactus and an Easter cactus, I think you'd get more confused than the Thanksgiving cactus and a Christmas cactus. That was a lot. But basically, we're going to go on to how to care for this and what you need to do to bloom, propagate, kind of all those little things about it. So let's start off first with the actual care, because some of you guys are thinking that it's a cactus, which it's not a true cactus. So what that means is that these actually love humidity, they love the moisture, and they you need to force them to bloom. So that's kind of like the little thing. Oh, and they're epiphyte. Epiphyte, yeah. So what that basically means is that they're plants that grow in plants. So think of like a tillandsia and orchid as the same thing. They like to grow in the crystal tree, or they and they love to grow on top of plants, like I said. So that's what it is. Another thing about the Thanksgiving cactus, I think that's super important, is how to propagate. So for these, you're gonna need around 3 to 5 stems on things, and you just break it apart, let it callus over, and then you're just gonna plant it in the soil. So, and for the soil, definitely do not go for a true cactus mix. I think this one has right now is just my plain normal soil mixture, and then I added perlite to it, so it gives it a little bit more drainage, but it still holds the moisture. And why I did that instead is because they like to have moisture, but if you have too much moisture, then you'll have a fungus, or it's gonna rot, and so you get all these different problems with it. So by doing that, I kind of wanted to eliminate some of the risk. For mine, I water it about every 13 days in its normal growing season. But in its blooming time, like what it's doing right now, which is kind of surprising that it's still blooming, because it's a Thanksgiving cactus, which blooms around November. But so I guess it's kind of not strange, but it is for me to really actually still have it in January. So for blooming, okay, so a lot of people they get their cactus and it's blooming, they buy it at the greenhouse, it's blooming, they're like, this is gonna happen next year, this is so cool, it's gonna be easy, I love the flowers, it's great, yes, but then there's the downside that you have to force it to bloom, and that takes a little bit of preparation, like a month or two ahead of time. So this is Thanksgiving cactus blooms in November, so do it in October and September. What you're going to want to do is, if it's not outside already, kind of slowly acclimate it outside. And then what you're going to want is to water it less. And then to also have 12 to 14 hour nights. That's the biggest key. And why you're watering it less is because you're having 12 to 14 hours nights, and then also you're kind of wanting to put a little bit more stress on the plant so it produces the buds so it can bloom. That is kind of like a really big key factor in this to get it to bloom. And then while it's blooming, you're still going to want to do the 12 to 14 hour nights, because a lot of people think after it's blooming, it's, you can just leave it out, you wouldn't, but you still have to have the 12 to 14 hour nights, which I just put it in my closet, so I'm sure you guys can do the exact same. You just want a complete darkness, and that's basically it for blooming. It's a little tricky to do, so if you don't do it the first year, that's completely fine. Just make sure you write down what you did that year, and then look up, and then make sure next year that you're doing a little bit. You find out what you did wrong with what you did that year. So, and that's always like a big tip. And then if you are keeping your plants inside, I bring mine back in. I have a humidifier, and I have a spray bottle kind of, but it's a really nice like mist. I don't think you guys saw that, but it's a pretty nice mist, so it gives it a really nice humidity. And I do that probably around like every 3 days just to make sure. And I have my humidifier on almost all the time, so my plants are happy. I'm happy. And then after like all the blooms come off, it's back to just being the stem. Then you want to go back to the normal care. But so after like that's blooming, give it a rest period, because you're going to, it's going to basically want to recover time. So no pruning, no propagating, no, basically let it be. And that's a big thing. So just let it be, let it grow, and then back it's to normal season. You can propagate, you can prune it, you can do whatever you want to do to it. And then when it comes around again, to around September, October, do the same thing and then a big thing, I guess people have a problem with like the squishy, like when it's their buds right here. And then I guess they get squishy, or they just fall off. And why that is because you don't have enough humidity, or 2, you're not doing the long nights anymore. So, and that's like the biggest thing ever. Or you change its position or location really fast, and that takes adjusting for a plant. So they're trying to acclimate, and what that means, and so why they drop off is because they're acclimating, and so they're using all their energy to basically come back and try to grow and get used to their conditions. So that's pretty important and for blooming, because if you're ready for it to flower and you have it all, and then you're trying to just move it somewhere, or like you want to move it to your downstairs like kitchen table so you watch the bloom, it might be too big of an adjustment for it. So you gotta do that slow. So that's a big thing. And that's about it for it. Just make sure you give it enough humidity, enough water, and long nights. And you don't have to do that in like when it's just in its normal growing season, the nights. You just need to do it when you want, when it's gonna bloom. And then if it blooms outside of like its normal blooming period, it's just because you have it in really great conditions. So perks to you. If it is, I love it. I love the blooms. It's kind of cool to have a cactus that actually blooms, even though it's not a true cactus, but it's alright. So thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, make sure you comment them below. I love to help you guys out with your plants. And then make sure you like and subscribe this if you guys want to see more plant videos. So I'm thinking we're gonna have like a how to take care of plant, or how to take care of, how to basically nurture and care for your plants. So each video would be a little bit different. I think we're gonna have them every Friday. And then that'll give us a kind of like, make sure you comment below what like your next how to would be. It could be a question, it could be anything. So I just kind of want to make sure we have some like information, and then we have some fun. I like a little bit of both, you know. So thank you guys so much for watching again. I love doing this. It's a little scary, but you know, we'll get better. Alright, I'll see you in the next one.